All right, welcome back. My name is Dustin. I am excited to have some quality time with some hardwood. Today I'm going to be diving into some good wood. This is some long, hard wood. Okay. I'm just making a couple cutting boards, which pretty much means I'm gluing some wood together. This lovely little stack of wood is going to turn into two fairly large end grain cutting boards. What I've got going on here is some sapele, or however you're supposed to pronounce that, along with some walnut, cherry, and some hard maple. I also end up putting some end grain borders on these, which I think looks pretty cool. So you've kind of got two options. Option one, skip to the end and see how they turned out. And option two, stick around and listen to some terrible jokes and commentary while I build these things. So it is time to mix the sticks up. I tried to make this as random and chaotic as possible. One of these days I'll have enough time, patience, and wood to make a board that's truly chaotic. Today is not that day. So this is the first of several cut aparts and glue ups. If you've made cutting boards before, you know the process is basically cut, glue, cut again, glue again, and you pretty much keep repeating that until you're satisfied with how it looks. I'm still pretty new to making cutting boards. I think this is board 7 and 8 for me. And while this might be incredibly boring to watch, I'm actually having quite a bit of fun out here in the shop. I'm a few months in with the Oliver 15-inch planer, and no complaints. It just quietly does its job. Check it out. I did get my dartboard hung up. It'll give me something to do while I wait for the glue up I'm about to do. That is after another round of cutting my boards into small strips. We can call this round 2 of mixing things up. Once the glue up is done, that's probably going to shut me down for the day while everything sets up. Now, I have been known to start cutting again after about an hour, which I'm pretty sure is not what the glue manufacturer had in mind. But with cutting boards, I try to be responsible and give it at least 4 hours of the recommended 24. That lovely stack of boards is tomorrow's problem. I got an early start this morning and am hoping to get a couple more glue ups knocked out. I'm thinking 2 more and I'll call it good enough, which means today's plan is basically the same as yesterday with slightly less enthusiasm. It is not exactly the chaos I was going for, but it's something. One more quick glue up and then it's back to the dartboard or possibly the couch for a highly strategic woodworking nap. After taking a delightful little nap, I got the boards out of the clamps once again and made the walk over to the planer. Each board got a couple passes, and man, I just love the finish this planer leaves. I then worked my way over to the table saw to cut some strips, which is when things got interesting. Empty the dust collector, you dummy. Seriously, though, I actually appreciate the audible alarm. I would hate to forget about it and end up clogging the filters, which becomes a bigger problem. So, yeah, easy to fix. Empty the bin, reset the system, and we are back in business, which does mean it's time for another round of batching out strips of wood. This process is definitely not glamorous, but it's where you get the unique looking board. Another day has passed, and this is my final round at the planer. After this, I head over to the miter saw to clean things up and make a nice reference edge so everything stays square for the next steps. These strips get cut down to a little over 2 inches. Then comes another shuffle of the pattern and a fresh glue up. This is the moment where it finally starts to feel like the project is moving forward. You can't tell on camera, but I was pretty surprised these boards didn't need any shims. To flatten them, I used the same thrown together sled I've used on the last 6 boards. One of these days I'll build a nice, proper version, but until then, this questionable engineering continues to work fine. I have no idea why I used the miter saw to make a reference edge when I have a highly tuned slider on the table saw, but this is what I did. I used a little more common sense on the second board and then got the first 2 sides of the border glued up. Oh, after giving that sufficient time to dry, 1 hour, I cleaned up the remaining sides on the table saw this time and then glued up the other 2 sides of the border. Sanding with the Rotex makes this part almost too easy. It's pretty much made sanding great again for me. Once everything was smooth, I added 45-degree chamfer to the bottom edge, and then I finished things off with a light round over up on top. I am wrapping this thing up, so I added my maker's mark, which I got from Rockler. I've been really happy with this. It works great. Yeah, he's waiting for a stick to fall off the workbench so he can run out the door with it. One final cleanup here, and I am ready for some oil, which is the funnest part of a cutting board build. Seeing my work take shape and come to life is just something I really enjoy. I guess I didn't film one of my favorite parts, but oh well. Check out these cool feet I got from Amazon. I'm gonna zip these on here real quick, and we'll show you what the final boards look like.